Hey everyone, today I have a question for you. What would you do if a cult of fart disease worshipping crack addicts decided to take over your planet, make either everyone light up a bulb, or turn into mindless zombies? Well, if you sit and play a bunch of convicts, then I think Darktide could be right up your alley. Maybe. With the full release of Darktide, I have noticed multiple problems with the game, such as either missing features or game mechanic ideas that I don't think were fleshed out too well. And I think they need to be addressed, as this game is very promising, but these problems really hold it back from succeeding. Now, this has nothing to do with the gameplay or the maps. I mean, the gameplay is absolutely incredible. I mean, the guns, they feel beefy. I mean, these things will tear through your enemies with ease. The bolt gun alone, I mean, oh. Chef's kiss to whoever made this thing. I mean, this thing is beautiful. Put some hair on your chest. The same thing can go for the melees as well, just as good as they're shooting. Just a little slashing and bashing instead of the whole shooting and hooting. Maybe still a little bit of hooting, but I digress. Maps are made incredibly well. I mean, the sceneries, the views, they're gorgeous and at the same time disgusting. And they all feel great to play on as well. Well, I mean, I don't know much about level design, but if it ain't the second to last mission of Dark Carnival, I think we're in a pretty good spot. And of course, things were added from the closed beta, such as little charms that, we've seen in Vermintide. They gave buffs to the player and the crafting system, and of course, more weapons, more missions, and more cosmetics. That's the stuff I like. That's the stuff that I enjoyed. But with the full release, I saw problems. I saw flaws, and I was like, okay, well, what the hell?
How much I sacrificed?
When I played the closed beta for Darktide back in October, I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. All they really need to do is take what they've learned from Vermintide, put it in this game, bingo, bango, bongo. They got a pretty good, pretty fun game right here. But that didn't really happen. There's stuff that I didn't really think about that'd be a problem, and it is. And there's stuff that became a problem because it's not here. First things first, the mission select just sucks outright. It's bad, but it can be improved. When you spawn in a hub world, you can go do what you need to do, go do crafting, go buy guns, whatever. Walk straight, you find this table, it's got some green on it, and you just, you select your mission. It will give you a bunch of missions that are selected from the pool of missions that are available, put some difficulty on them, it's completely random, and maybe a modifier. There's also quick play that you can go and do, and this basically just allows you to join a random game on the difficulty that you want to play on. You may be asking, what is the problem? The problem is that, what if a new map comes in? What if a new map launches, or there's a specific map that you need to play on? Maybe just do a challenge, or just because you want to play on it. Let's just say that. Well, you are really hoping that either the map select gives you the mission you want, or quick play gives you the mission you want. As this is terrible. There is no dedicated way to play new maps when they launch. You are just praying to God that He will give you what you need. Missions will refresh from as low as I've seen, from 20 minutes to all the way up to 90 minutes or more. It is abysmal. And that's just hoping that the map comes there. What if it's the difficulty that you don't want to play on? Let's say you are max level. You got the top rate gear, best in the business. You can't really play on the lower difficulties because it's not that fun. It's just a steamroll. So you gotta play on the max difficulty. Well, now you are hoping that it is the right map with the right difficulty, because if it isn't, you have just wasted upmost of an hour and a half. There was this little game called Payday 2. Figure this out and fix this problem very, very easily. It's called the Contract Broker. This allowed the player to buy a mission they want on the difficulty they want and play it. I use it all the time when I play Payday. It's the most handiest thing that was ever created, and this thing came out probably, I think, as early as 2014, a year after the game's release. I would not be surprised if either they implemented this feature, or just kind of went back to how Vermintide style of mission select was, as to be honest, this is it's not the best. The second thing I have a problem with is this game has a lot of features that are just kind of missing, and it sucks. Crafting.
I like it, cut G.
You may be saying I mentioned crafting, like crafting's in the game. You are right. About 30 to, I would say 40% of the crafting is in the game. We are missing half of a crafting system in a game like this, in a game that is basically as close to something like Diablo, where you want to craft the most ultimate weapon in the game. It's not here. Things such as like re-rolling traits or salvaging the weapon for parts, like things that were seen in Vermintide, are not here. It is idiotic that we have to wait to get a full crafting system implemented. Weapon customization, and this is things that are not like putting a charm or a skin on it. I'm talking there was supposed to be changing out attachments or putting attachments on the gun. That was supposed to be in the game. That doesn't exist. Something as simple as a chaos spawn that they showed in a trailer, by the way, they showed this in a trailer, is not here, even though it was in Vermintide 2. I understand that game development is hard, you know, and I understand that you can't really just port stuff over without it either A, being completely messed up, or having to work on it a lot to actually get it to function. But how hard is it to work with code that you understand and you have worked with before and get it to work here? I could just be stupid and I don't know game design all that well, but it just seems so simple. And the story. Now let me tell you, this game's got a great story, alright? Hey buddy. It looks like one of our planets is being attacked by some chaos fellas, some of the Nurgle. He's getting down and dirty in there. You want to go help?
You bitch, you make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
But before you answer though, I just need you to know this. If you say no, we're just gonna kill you anyway because well, you're a convict, you're a heretic, and you're dumb and stupid. So go down there. Don't let the unimaginable horrors tear you to shreds, as I heard that shit hurts. That is all, folks. That is the story as it is. I actually went back and I looked in one of the trailers, and it showed this guy called Dan Abnett. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't really know, but he's a writer for the 40k universe. He says he writes a lot with the human side. You know, not a lot of the Space Marines, but with the humans and what their experiences are like. And when I looked in the comments, a lot of people seemed very hyped that he was working on the game and that he was going to be contributing to the story. And for me, I've never really read any of the 40k books. I don't know his work, so I trusted him. I trusted the comments. I was like, okay, well, this guy seems like a very well-respected individual in the 40k environment, so it should be good, right? I was wrong. You know, I don't know how much he was involved, or really, maybe if the story was even scrapped, or maybe if he just worked on the lore around what Darktide is surrounded around. I don't know. But it's pretty disappointing to see a game launch and have literally just no story tied to it at all. My last and final problem with the game is it runs like absolute dog dookie. It's bad, alright? It is bad. It's not like Cyberpunk on launch, but it's still not good. I got some pretty good hardware in my computer. I got an RTX 3060 Ti with a Ryzen 5. And this game still struggles. Alright? I'm running the game on high. I can run most of my games on like ultra or very high, just high settings in general. And this game struggles. I have DLSS on. I'm running the game at 180p. It's not even 4K. And it's having problems. And on top of that, I've seen this game have some terrible, terrible load times. I saw my brother try to load in the game, and it took him up to a few minutes to get in the game. Before I moved my game to an SSD, I had the same problem. Not as long as him, but it was still up to a minute just to load into the hub world alone. It is bad. The load times could be better now. I don't really know, but performance-wise, it's still not as optimal as it should be. I think what makes me the saddest the most is that the game is actually fun, right? I like the game. The gameplay is fun. It's addicting. I could just hop in and lose a couple of hours of my day playing this game. But it's just the missing features and the performance issues. It's just irritating, you know? Like, if you were looking for a game that's like Vermintide or Left 4 Dead 2 or anything like that, this game would be for you. I would recommend this game, but I have mixed feelings about it because of just kind of A, we were kind of lied to in some cases, and B, if you really can put up with performance problems in even the mission select, then yeah, it would be pretty fun. You know, this is the same problem that I had with Halo Infinite. The gameplay is absolutely incredible. It feels like classic Halo with some modernized touches. But the game launched with barely any games or modes. There was no Forge, Firefight, and custom games barely worked. It was terrible. And 343 is still struggling to understand the idea of a live service. But as of the time of writing this, this is a little over a month into this game, into Darktide, that is. And these problems, they can be ironed out, but to be honest, these problems shouldn't even have been there to begin with. In conclusion, this game is not bad. It is a very fun game, but it is plagued with problems of a rushed product. If you can bear with these problems that I have said, then yeah, I think this game could be for you if you're looking for something that's like Vermintide. But I don't want to leave this video on a low note. We're going to leave this video on a high note. And that's looking forward to what this year has to offer. This year is looking pretty good. Stalker 2 just got a new trailer, showed some gameplay, showed what it's going to be looking like close to final product. I absolutely cannot wait to play this game. One of my most anticipated games. And another one of my most anticipated games is Payday 3. That just got a trailer saying this is the year of Payday 3. It only took them about 10 years for this to happen. And in February, Like a Dragon Ishin comes out, which will be awesome to play soon. And I hope you all had a great Happy New Year, and I hope you have a great 2023. And like, sub, and bye.
A lonely electron with nothing to do. Pairs up with a neutron for a cocktail or two. Atomic kisses, survived by a few. They had a nuclear blast. Said the electron to the neutron, you sure